Let's look at John 15, 4 through 11. Poof. Magic. This passage, I think, is worth memorizing. When I was struggling to understand how to cope with sin, I came across this and I memorized this. I think it's worth memorizing. It's really good because you can chew on it. There's much on here to chew on. When you're brushing your teeth, you're washing dishes, whatever it might be, those kind of mindless things, you can chew on this. There's a lot of things in here that are rich like that. So, abide in me, and I in you. As a branch cannot bear fruit of itself unless it abides in the vine, so neither can you unless you abide in me. I am the vine, you are the branches. He who abides in me and I in him, he bears much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. If anyone does not abide in me, he is thrown away as a branch and dries up, and they gather them, cast them into the fire, and they are burned. If you abide in me, and my words abide in you, ask whatever you wish, and it will be done for you. My Father is glorified by this, that you bear much fruit, and so prove to be my disciples. Just as the Father has loved me, I've also loved you. Abide in my love. If you keep my commandments, you'll abide in my love, just as I've kept my Father's commandments, and abide in his love. These things I have spoken to you, so that my joy may be in you, and that your joy may be made full. Okay, let's work through this a bit. Look at that first phrase, abide in me. I know some translations have that translated as remain, but I think there's a difference. Remain means just stay, means don't go away. But abide, it's like the word abode, your home. It's like settle down. Settle down in Jesus. That is the most restful invitation. It's a remarkable invitation. Just rest, settle, abide. Let this be the relation between us. Abide in me and I in you. That's what he's inviting here. It's not, be a better person, stop sinning, do this. He's saying, abide in me. The key, notice the key is Jesus. It's not doctrine. It's not teaching. It's not discipleship. It's him. It's him. That's what is so important here. It's him he's inviting us to. As the branch cannot bear fruit of itself unless it abides in the vine, so neither can you. Now this is kind of self-evident. You don't pull a branch off a grapevine and say, okay, come on, do something. It's just, he's speaking purely naturalistically here, but it makes perfect sense. And he's saying in the same way, your relationship with me is a branch in the vine. I'm the vine. I provide the nourishment. I provide the water. I provide all this stuff. Your job is to abide. And in so doing, you can produce fruit. We'll get to that. In verse 5, I am the vine, you're the branches. He who abides in me and I in him, he bears much fruit. For apart from me, you can do nothing. Now that second part is much like verse 4. Of course we have to abide in the vine to produce something. But he says, if you abide in me, you will bear much fruit. Now I think fruit means both character, it means Christ-likeness, but I think it also means deeds, service, acts of service. And so as we abide in him, as we are branches in the vine, as we have this natural relationship, we will bear fruit. It's just the way things work. And he's saying it's as natural in us as it is in a grapevine or an apple tree or something. So I'd like us to see that this relationship is organic. That what he's talking about here, it's not just head, it's an organic relationship. Abide in me, be related to me like the branches are to the vine. That should be what we're seeking. And it's a curious thing to think we're seeking this, because what he's asking us to do is to not do. It's to abide, to rest, to settle in him, to make him our life, to seek him, to engage ourselves with him, to be involved with him, reading his word, praying every day, seeking him to be with him every day. It's the relationship that brings about the godliness, brings about the fruit. And so that's why I think this is such a great passage to memorize and just chew on. Just chew on it. So this relationship, this invitation is very gentle, but he's inviting us to something which is transformative. It's truly transformative. That we'll be changed people. We'll be allowing his life to come out through us more and more and more.